faces Demetrius Hopkins, both 14-0-1. To start the evening, a look at another well-regarded unbeaten prospect, Kendall Holt. Exciting welterweight takes on 6'2" Thomas Davis. Thomas Davis won the 1995 Armed Forces Championship for the Marines. At 6'2", a 5-inch height advantage. Davis, 32 years old. He is 8-1-1. His last 5 is a little choppy. He hurt his hand against Victor McInnes back in 2001. Didn't fight again until April 2004. That was his first loss. The knuckle on his right hand never healed properly. He didn't have insurance, so he went out, got himself a job, got himself the insurance, then had the surgery, which helped out much later. Said his work with troubled kids taught him a good lesson in life. Doesn't want to have any regrets at any time, so he's still pursuing his boxing dreams. And as for Kendall Holt, calls himself Rated R Kendall Holt. Gives up 5 inches. We told you about that. 15-0 with 11 knockouts. His last 5. He didn't perform the way he wanted to against John Trigg, but he redeemed himself masterfully against Gilberto Reyes. Let's take you back to March 26 in Miami. It was the first round, and Kendall would connect with one of the most beautiful left hooks against Reyes you will ever see. In fact, you were able to see it nonstop the whole weekend, replay time and time again, even earning the honor of being Sunday Night Sports Center's #1 play of the week.
Being at boxing, a boxer never made it. It was great, Joe. I went to a club in Patterson Club Ring. They were playing it there. Everywhere I went, if the people didn't see the fight, they saw the highlights. So, you know, it was great. It was a dream come true to even see myself on TV. After all these years of being Duva's best kept secret, you know, now I'm out. Now the secret's out.
Yeah, let me tell you, the secret was out at the hotel he was staying at also, because he screamed when he saw himself on SportsCenter.
Okay, the rules were explained to both of you fighters in the dressing room, all right? Here are your instructions. Keep your punches up at all times. Obey the commands that's going to be given to you at all times. In the case of a knockdown, the man who is standing, I'm going to put him in a neutral corner where I want him to be, and I expect for him to stay there until I tell him to come out. Good luck to both of you. Protect yourselves at all times. Let's go to work.
Tim Adams, your referee. Scheduled 8-rounder. The ring experience between Davis and Holt. You see the career 7 years to 3 years. Keep in mind, Davis out of action for 3 years with the hand injury. Well, Kendall Holt, the #1 play of the week back in March on Sunday Night Sports Center. He was sitting in the hotel when he saw himself flash up as the #1 play of the week. He started screaming, celebrating with his trainer nonstop. The police were actually called to his hotel room, Teddy. They congratulated him for being the #1 play of the week, but he told him, listen, you still need to keep things down, Kendall.
Well, he wants to celebrate again tonight. Not just with a win, but for his birthday that happened 4 days ago when he became 23 years old. Of course, preparing and training as a fighter for this fight, he had to hold off any celebration until tonight. Wiry guys like Davis usually get power because they have leverage in their punches. But
don't go anywhere. Holt's looking to make SportsCenter again. All over Davis. A lot of action the first 40 seconds here, Teddy.
Well, all but one fight for Davis has been in the South, where you can kind of build up records a little bit. The one fight that was not in the South for Davis, you got it. That was his one loss. Davis wants to make it, or Holt wants to make it too.
Thomas Davis in the pink trunks with silver trim tonight. Kendall Holt wearing the red.
Holt was a very good amateur. 70 amateur fights. And you can see he has talent. He's got ability, talent, and he's explosive in spots. The key is, can Davis, as he did just a moment ago, Joe, survive the spots? If there's a knock on Holt, a 23-year-old Holt that still has a long way to go, it's that sometimes he's not consistent enough. But then again, we haven't seen him since that big win in his last fight. And we're going to see whether or not he has improved in that area of being more consistent.
Go home, let the hand go.
Kendall Holt sending in some serious thunder here in the first round against Thomas Davis. There have been 3 instances where he staggered him. Davis almost walking into a right hand there.
Well, he will walk into punches if he doesn't come in behind that jab and be respectful and responsible defensively. Because Holt can go after you, but he can also counter very well. He likes to step back and throw that counter left hook. And he's got quick hands, as you can see right now. Right now, Davis going into that earmuff position, just putting the hands up, trying to block. The problem with that, when you don't move your head, when you got a guy like Holt who can put punches together and has speed, you can't stand straight and block everything. Some will go. We talked about the power of a wiry guy, the power and the leverage that a wiry guy gets. Well, Holt, the undefeated fighter, is down and he's hurt. And there's 17 seconds left.
Step back.
Can you believe this? For 2 minutes and 30 seconds, Kendall Holt just dominated Davis. But the tables have turned.
And he is in bad shape and the fight is over. We just talked about the power. Anytime you fight a guy, and I remember when I used to bring amateurs up, if I didn't know anything about the opponent, I'd look to see if he was tall and wiry. If he was tall and wiry, guess what? I'd avoid him, because usually they can punch. Guess what? Davis can punch.
Absolutely unbelievable. The DePaul Athletic Center is in shock as Thomas Davis is celebrating an amazing come-from-behind win in the first round.
Sometimes the danger can be, and I know it's easy to say now, but the danger, we've said it before, can be, especially when an undefeated fighter scores a knockdown early, has his way, looks like he's on his way to a Sunday walk, a walk in the park, and then all of a sudden, he can get a little careless, just a little reckless, maybe lead with something from too far away, maybe not pay attention as much as he might if he didn't score that knockdown early. And whatever the reason is, Holt was caught by Davis, a guy who's wiry, tall, and obviously has power.
There's the look on the face of Kendall Holt as his trainer Lou Duva, who has seen it all through the years. Well, there's always something new to see in this game of pro boxing.
The smaller man in this fight was Holt, 145 pounds or less 11 times. Well, the bigger guy, and he showed that bigger power, was Davis, 148 pounds and over 6 times, as heavy as 153 pounds. He used that extra size, he used that wiry frame, and he landed a bomb on the chin of undefeated Kendall Holt.
Let's go back and recap this first round, because early on it was Kendall Holt who had hurt Thomas Davis, Teddy.
Well, there's a right hand by Holt that started the problem for Davis. And as you said, hurt him. But what Davis did was he survived those spots. We talked about the spots of Holt and surviving. Well, Davis survived, and then it was his turn. And you can see right here, jabbing to the body, trying to set up something to the head. And that's exactly what Davis did. The jab to the body distracted Holt downstairs, and then the right hand landed upstairs. Let's take a look again. The jab to the body, and then you're going to see the right hand up top, and Holt never saw the punch. Holt forgot about something come to the head. The body distracted him, and Holt was throwing and got beat to the punch. Another look. The jab to the body sets it up. Holt starts to load up with his right hand, and guess what? The right hand of Davis gets there first, and then the finishing touches. He knew he had a guy hurt. There was only 17 seconds left, but Davis showed the qualities of a finisher and the good sense of a guy, when you got a guy hurt, an undefeated fighter, get on him, finish him, and that's what Davis did with the right hand that had a target.
Well, Thomas Davis, who was working his way back, just his second fight after a long 3-year layoff, a tall, skilled welterweight. He had plenty of amateur success in the Marines. The thought was that it never came together in the pros. Let me tell you, it came together tonight. A shocking come-from-behind first-round knockout over previously undefeated prospect Kendall Holt. What a night here in Chi-Town. Let's check in with Brian Kenny and marvelous Marvin Hagler.
How about that? How about that? Marvelous. Well, you know, he looked like he was too overconfident for me, and he looked a little bit like Roy Jones Jr. starting out there.
Yeah, you'd mentioned that.
Yeah, but this guy here actually took his best shots. There was no other punches, so he had to go right in there. And I think Thomas Davis looked like he's going to be a pretty good fighter.
Yeah, I'd like to see a rematch of this.
Oh, I think he will.
I think he will. You know, it's amazing because early on,